YouTube? It's your boy Ziggy Doom. How's everybody doing? Here we are, another podcast. I'm in New Mexico, so my setup here is a little bit different than my one in Texas, so the sound might be a little different. I apologize for that in advance. I got to get my setup here a little bit better, but as y'all all know, time and other commitments I kind of have to push certain projects back. But I'll get to it. Once I start something, I commit. So I'll have a better setup for you guys. I apologize for that if the sound is a little wonky. What's been going on, man? I think last time we talked was before the Super Bowl, and that Super Bowl did not go the way I planned it. It didn't go the way anyone planned it. Kansas City got waxed. Them boys went out there and laid a super egg. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was chemistry. I don't know if it was the timing or whatever, but Kansas City just did not look like a powerhouse team. They didn't look like a team that should be in the Super Bowl this year anyway. Travis Kelce was off. Patrick Mahomes was off. So the Super Bowl was Philly put it on them boys, man. And I don't want to take nothing away from Philly. They are a really good team. Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. Nick is a really good coach. A lot of people have some, opinions about him because of how he is and what he says. But at the end of the day, they Super Bowl champs, man. So congratulations to them. Y'all know the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar was phenomenal. Now, me personally, I'm not gonna put it over the halftime performance Michael Jackson did. Some of you guys probably wasn't even alive to see that one. But this was high up there. Like the one with Rihanna, I like that one. But it was more. It wasn't so much as the performance, like the spectacle of it. I think it was the impact of the message that Kendrick Lamar was giving. That was what was more powerful than maybe like the Michael Jackson Super Bowl halftime show. But I think it was the message and what he did to y'all boy Drake. Degrassi. So shout out to that. That was a phenomenal, memorable Super Bowl halftime show. The Super Bowl itself was probably forgettable. I don't know. I ain't pressing on that one. That was that Super Bowl was a little, one-sided, but the halftime show was decent. I don't like to get into politics. I don't like to get into religion, because I know those are sensitive subjects, and some people will really feel some kind of way about you based on your political beliefs and your religious preferences. For me, I'm a firm believer everyone has the right to pick who they want, to vote for who they want, to believe in whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer in that. So I've never felt any kind of way about someone believing in this or voting for that. What does bother me, though, is the reasons why people do these things. Now, if you do something for a reason that it doesn't make sense, I'm going to have a hard time understanding it. If you're doing something just because everybody else does it, or because everyone in your family always did it that way, if these are the reasons you do things, then you might want to reevaluate that, because those are usually not the best reasons to do something. If you vote for one person because you just don't like another person personally, that's probably not the best reason to vote for the other person, right? In my opinion, once again, you want to vote for somebody who aligns the most with your values and your beliefs. But you also want to understand certain things, certain truths. And I think a lot of people don't understand certain truths and realities. They just do things because they would rather them get nothing than to see someone else get something. Even if someone else getting something doesn't take away from them, they would still rather not get nothing to see certain people lose something. And that's just crazy to me. If you make $100 an hour at a job and you are in line to make $150 an hour, and this person you don't like is also in line to get $150, versus you keeping your $100 and that person losing $100, it's some people that will choose $100 and that person losing $50 versus both of them getting $150 an hour. And that's just crazy to me. And there are some people that are like that. They would rather lose to not see you gain versus seeing both of y'all gain equally. And that plays a role in the politics, unfortunately. You have a lot of people that are ill-informed about politics. And I really thought about it. I was gonna do a podcast explaining politics and the way this thing works, because a lot of people don't understand politics. But I thought about it. I was like, it's not. I don't think it's my place to educate people on those things. For the people that actually listen anyway. Most people don't even listen. So I was like, you know what? I know, I understand it. I know it. That's good enough for me. If someone else wants to know, they can always ask me. But I'm not going to do a whole podcast explaining politics and, certain truths about them. Because even if you tell somebody a truth, if they don't want to support it, it doesn't even matter. And usually when people vote, they have their mind made up. I don't care what you tell me, I'm going to vote for this person or that person. So I left that one alone, y'all. Politics, nah. Do I understand politics? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I understand religion? I understand it enough, to form my opinion of it. But to try to tell other people about, politics and religion, they could take it the wrong way. And I just don't think it's worth it. I already offend people just by existing. I offend people just by existing. I walk in some rooms and certain people just get mad. So I already do enough enough bothering people or offending people. So if anyone wants to know more about politics, whatever, they can hit me up, offline or call me or email me. We go from there. But this is one that I want to talk about, y'all. Settling for at least. Just at least, you want something and you don't get it, but you get something else, and it's, well, at least I got that versus what I wanted, and you just accept it. I was out of town for a couple of days. I went up to Chicago to do some music, and then I went to visit my brother in Minnesota. And we had conversations and everything. I hadn't seen him in 13 years. And usually when I talk to people, the things we talk about give me ideas, things that I would like to speak on in my podcast to present to the world. Why do we settle for at least? Why is it when we want something and we don't attain it, we just accept whatever we have? This applies to everything: money, jobs, relationships, family, health. Why do we just settle for at least? Sometimes that is all that we can get, right? Sometimes you can't. If you go to a dealership and you want a red car, you want a certain car, but you want it in red, and that dealership runs out of red. All they have is blue, right? You got the blue car, but you want it red, but you got the blue car. At least you got the car, right? So when does at least just become standard? And I guess for everyone it's different for certain things, because when you say at least, you're trying to put a positive spin on a situation that didn't go the way you wanted it to, right? At least you got that, or at least you were able to go here. That's the thing. But is that really okay all the time? At least, you practice for a race all day. You run, you take you time yourself, you time get better, and then you race, and then you come in second place. And then someone says, well, at least you finished second. Is that good enough for you? Are you okay with that? Is that a suitable enough answer for you? Now, with me, at least can be sufficient. It can be sufficient enough in certain situations. You know, when there's no other way possible for something to happen, the outcome, then okay. You know, if you're having you got in an accident and you was losing a lot of blood and the only option was to cut your leg off to save your life. You know, your leg got cut off, and this is extreme, y'all. I know, I get it, but I'm an extreme person. They cut your leg off, you wake up and you don't have a leg, right? Someone can say, at least you have one leg, right? A person with no legs can walk in there and say, well, at least you have one leg. And somebody that got both their legs can look at you and say, well, at least you're alive, right? What does that mean to you? How would you feel in those situations? You know, you see somebody get a promotion at your job and, they look at you and they tell you, hey, at least you got a job, right? Or somebody in the street with no job look at you and, hey, at least you got a job. And for me, that just tells me that your least is probably somebody else's most, right? Like I said, the person with no job looking at you like you ain't get a promotion, but at least you got a job. So it's always going to be subjective with the at least. But even still, do we need to settle for at least? In what situations does at least, you tell your child to clean up the kitchen and they wash the dishes, right? And your child says, well, at least I washed the dishes. Is that okay? Like, oh, well, yeah, they wash the dishes. So is that okay? I don't think so. I don't want to hear, at least I wash the dishes. No, I told you to wash or to clean up the kitchen. At least you wash the dishes. Okay. So in those situations, absolutely not. Ain't no at least, nah. Now, if you expecting something in the mail from Amazon and it's a day late, right? Due to the weather, unforeseen circumstances, your package is going to come a day late. At least you getting the package. It's just coming a day late. I think that's acceptable. At least you're getting it, right? At least it's coming. It's just coming a day late. So I think saying at least in that situation is totally acceptable. But in relationships, there is no at least in no relationship. Because you get into all kind of murky waters when it comes to that. Oh, they cheated on you and you found out. Well, at least they only cheated once versus somebody who been cheated on 10, 20 times, right? You tell your friend, well, at least my partner cheated on me once. Your partner cheated on you 20 times. Is there really a difference? Is that really a difference? Two people arguing about being cheated on. One of them says, well, at least I only got cheated on once. Is that really a difference? What? No. I can't see no scenario where at least is okay in a relationship. You meet somebody and women, you meet a guy and he makes a lot of money. He's financially secure, but he's short. He's 5'2", and you like 5'5", 5'6". Is it one of those? Well, at least he's financially stable. Is that enough for you to stay in a relationship with him? And I'm just saying, because even with the guys, right? You meet a girl, she got a college degree, got her own crib, all that stuff, but she may have her body may not be the best looking. She may not have the most physical features. You know what I'm saying? Is it one of those, well, at least she got a college degree. She independent. But is that enough? Like, is that your standard? Is that what you're okay with? And I can't answer that question for anybody. But for me, in a relationship, there at least should not be acceptable. If you have a standard, an expectation, that person needs to either meet it or exceed it. But if you out here saying, well, at least they got this or at least they do that, they're clearly not meeting your standard. They're not meeting your expectations. They definitely can't be exceeding them if you saying at least. So in a relationship, nah. Mm-mm. Ain't no at least. You gonna meet my standard, you gonna exceed it. The end. We not gonna compromise on that, because once you start compromising on your standard, then you more willing to accept less and less. That's just how that goes. I didn't make the rules up. I'm just telling y'all that is how that goes. You don't have to agree with me, but that's how that goes. And even in a relationship, right? Are you in a relationship because you like the person, or are you in a relationship because you trying to get over somebody else, or because you don't want to be alone? And first of all, you you should only be in a relationship with somebody if you actually like them. Let's start with that. There should be no, well, I don't know how to get over this person, so I'm gonna date another person to get over them. That ain't never gonna work. That don't even make sense. Because by doing that, you still settling for less. You telling yourself, well, at least he's better than the person that I had before, or at least she's better than the person that I had before. And if you dating somebody because you don't want to be alone, at least I'm not alone. I don't like them that much, but at least I'm not alone. So you still settling for less. It don't make sense. In a relationship, it should be, I can't think of a circumstance where settling for less is okay. So just don't do it. Why not be by yourself until you meet someone that meets or exceeds your standards and expectations? It's not like a bad thing to be single. You see all these people and videos and life coaches. Everyone talks about how to have a healthy relationship, how to maintain happiness with your partner, how to strengthen your relationship. You never, ever hear someone talk about how to stay single, how to empower yourself, how to be mentally, emotionally independent, how to walk outside by yourself with your head up and not be concerned with what anyone says or thinks. They don't have that. I never see it. Everybody I see talk about a good man will do this for his woman. A good woman will do this. I'm doing this for my king, and if you want your queen to be happy, do that. Nobody ever talks about how to be single. And it's not just, well, just don't date anybody, right? That's not what being single. That's not all it entails. Being single is also empowering, because you can do you have to do everything by yourself. You have to be able to be okay with being alone, or being in situations by yourself. You know, going to the movies, going to the Super Bowl, going to the club, a concert. You know, it take a unique type of person to be able to do these things confidently. And it's not just, well, it's easy to be single, just don't be in a relationship. But you got people that don't know how to be single. That's a real thing. People that do not know how to be by themselves. They have dated 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 30 times, been in relationships, and they don't work, and they just on to the next relationship. That type of person clearly does not know how to be single. So anybody that says, oh, it's easy to be single, just don't date nobody. It ain't easy to be single. I know a gang of people. Matter of fact, everybody I know, I ain't gonna say everybody. 90% of the people that I know, 95, are in relationships. Are these happy, healthy relationships, long term? Look, y'all, I can give y'all my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But obviously their opinion is going to be different, because nobody wants to tell the world I'm in a bad relationship. I'm in an unhealthy relationship, because that image is going to make them look like a fool. So of course everyone's going to say they're in a happy relationship. Do I think everyone is in a happy relationship? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think a lot of people are in relationships and they just going with the flow. going with the flow. You either got two people that can't stand each other, but they can't leave for financial reasons. They can't afford to leave. You got one person that's good, loyal, upfront, caring, want a relationship, and then you got the other person that's just like, whatever, I don't really care. Or this is the one that rarely happens. You got two people in love, in a healthy, understanding, ups and downs, trials and tribulations, better or worse, sickness and health relationship. And those usually, they usually come from the 60s and 70s and 80s. You got like the 20 and 30-year relationships. These new relationships, these 2020, 21, 22 relationships, they not lasting long, man. They not. And for me, a person that's constantly in and out of relationships is a person that don't know how to be single. That's all that is. You don't know how to be single. Because if you knew how to be single, you wouldn't be hopping in 5 or 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10 different relationships. Now, you got the people that will say, well, I don't know. I won't know if I don't try. Well, all you got to do is pay attention. You can try certain things without being in a relationship. You can get to know a person. You don't got to be in a relationship with them. You can spend time with a person. You ain't got to be in a relationship with them. Do that first. So that's how you'll know before you try. I'm telling y'all, man, the people that this pertains to, they clearly not gonna watch it, But that doesn't mean this isn't applicable to a lot of other people in the world. There's people in relationships, and all I do is sit. I say congratulations, and I just sit and wait. And then it's like, yep, there it is. There it is. So why are you in a relationship if you're not happy? Because you are settling for less, right? Or at least this person keeps a roof over my head, or at least this person helps me pay the bills. But in a relationship, it's not okay to settle for at least, because you automatically compromising your standards and expectations. Listen, I don't have to be a celebrity. I don't have to be famous. I don't have to be well known. I don't even have to be liked to tell y'all what I know. It's right there. It's right there in your face. But some people do not know how to be single. And how many relationships you been in the last 4 years? 5, 6, 7? Why? 5 years? So if you, basic math. The last 5 years, you've been with 10 people. That's 2 people a year. What are you doing? What? Now, when you're a teenager, right? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, your 20s, okay, you're going to date, right? Sure, date and do and act, do whatever. But you in your 40s and you still ain't figured it out? You ain't figured out how to date or be in a healthy long-term relationship? You in and out of relationships in your 40s? You're not going to convince me, you are not going to convince me that you are stable, number one, and that you know how to be single. You're not going to convince me. And for me, that is a red flag. Like, wait a minute, you've been in 3 relationships this year alone? 3? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, just hit me, DM me or something from time to time. Do not dare talk about a relationship with me, because those are red flags for me. Red flags for me. And then, to be fair, you have people that don't know how to be in relationships. They don't. They get in a relationship and do it all wrong. So those people probably single. Single by choice or single by force. Because you can be in a relationship by choice and you could be in one by force. The force is you don't want to leave this person because you may lose money or you don't want to be alone or whatever. But single by choice is a thing too. And some people that are single, probably because they're not good in relationships. right? You can choose to not be in a relationship, or you could just not be good in relationships. Now, if you want to be in a relationship, then you obviously have to figure it out, right? That's when you need how to be in a relationship, how to keep your girl or guy happy, how to da da da. You need that. But if you don't want to be in a relationship, that's fine. I mean, you're not hurting anybody. I mean, it can be kind of isolating to be single, but some people are single too because they don't know how to be in relationships. So don't think that's not a thing. Also, you just don't see anyone teaching or promoting how to stay single. It's almost as if it's taboo. Oh my God, you're 45, 40, and you're not in no relationship? Oh man, what is wrong with you? Nothing. Nothing. But they don't, to my knowledge, they don't have any how to stay single. They're not really pushing that. And we all know the government wants everyone to be married because marriage is a financial advantage for the government. You married, you pay more in taxes, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into all that. But either way, why settle for least? We shouldn't settle for least always. Some situations, you don't have a choice. But if you have a choice, then you shouldn't just settle for at least. That is a crutch. That is a crutch because now you are open to just accepting the bare minimum. And when is that okay to always accept the bare minimum? How are you happy accepting the bare minimum? First of all, are you happy with your situation? Are you happy? Start from there, because some people can be happy in a miserable relationship. I don't know. It don't make sense to me, but some people can't be happy. So let's start from there. Are you happy? If you're happy, then nothing else matters. If you genuinely happy in the situation you're in, then nothing else matters. If you live check to check, but you're happy, then it don't matter. Keep living check to check, But if you're not happy living check to check, you're not happy in a relationship, you're not happy where you are financially or health wise, whatever, then you cannot accept at least. You can't. The minute you accept at least, then you're gonna have a hard time convincing anybody that you're not happy with the way something is. But that's another one that somebody will get on here and they'll say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I did this because of that, and I did that because of this." And okay, and all I ask that person, are you happy with whatever it is you're doing? And believe it or not, most of the time they not. They not. They are not. So that's what that is, y'all. Just don't settle. If you're not happy with something, don't settle for at least. Understand your standards and your expectations, and deal with if anybody or anything doesn't meet or exceed that, then you shouldn't accept it. You shouldn't. But y'all know I'm the controversial guy. I don't have a lot of people that don't know me on the surface. They feel whatever way they feel about me. So my message probably comes off a little bit, slanted. But it applies to anyone. Anyone. I mean, y'all look, Donald Trump and his wife. Who think they in a happy, healthy relationship? Kanye West and his wife. Who think they're in a happy, healthy relationship? And this is the internet, right? So I'm not judging, but I have a right to give my opinion. So all you, don't worry about them. It ain't your business. They live in their mind. That's not how the internet works, sir or ma'am. That is not how the internet works. That is where everyone goes to voice their opinion and sometimes pass their judgment. But Donald Trump and the First Lady, President Trump and the First Lady, they not happy together. It's a thing. They have to be together for political reasons, right? Financial reasons. So Is that considered settling for less? I don't know, but my point is, if the president of the United States is in a relationship and they not happy, everybody is people, non famous, non popular people that are in unhealthy and unhappy relationships, and they just settling for at least. So I'll leave y'all with that, man. I put out some music when I went up to Chicago. I put out some music. I might upload some of it or whatever. I think my album is gonna get pushed back. That's a normal thing when it comes to music, y'all. Believe me. And I do it all by myself. I really need to learn how to trust people and allow people to interact with me and collaborate and do certain things, because that is one of the biggest downsides of doing everything by yourself. It takes longer and it's more taxing, and you don't get as much diversity as far as ideas and creative ways to do things. It's kind of just me and my vision. So that is definitely a crutch of doing everything by myself, man. So I have to work on that if I want to put out better, more and potentially better projects. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I guess I can read a book, how to trust people. But yeah. So my music probably gonna get pushed back. I did a couple songs. Um, I'm I'm not as I'm not as I'm not as happy with them as I thought I would be. So I may have to tweak and peak those. But you guys know I'm not a rapper. I like making music. It kind of is my release, one of my coping mechanisms with my conditions or whatever. So, but that's it for this podcast, man. Y'all, 2025. Let's just all try to do better. Let's try to treat people the way we want to be treated and leave this world better than we found it. You know, it's a list. We are so divided now in this day and in this time. We are so divided, man. And you cannot achieve anything through division. You only achieve things through unity. And those that want to keep us divided for their benefit, we only making it easier for them. Because but whether you want to believe it or not, certain people do not care. They do not care. They're oblivious to us. Those are the type of people we shouldn't support. We should not support them at all. Those are the type of people we need to get rid of. Not violently, Lord Jesus, the internet, but I mean remove them from their positions of power. The people that don't really care about us. And we can only do that with unity, because there's always strength in numbers. Governments were built for us. We're not built for the government. The government is built for us. So we should dictate how that government is formed and how it runs. But we can't do that with division. So, but that's it, y'all. For this podcast, I'll keep them coming, man. Y'all just stay tuned. As always, thank y'all for watching my content. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Blah 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 blah. Got to do it for YouTube though. So until the next podcast, be easy.